I have a great idea,
But I'll
never do it. It might happen. Sure, the monkeys might fly out of my butt. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening.
Hey everyone, it's me, Jon,
and me, Louise.
and we are bummed out. And
To say the least.
Yeah. It's been a weird. We're recording this the day after the election results, and we are feeling weird.
I mean, I know we're not alone,
Yeah.
but it feels alone.
Yeah. But what's important is we've got great ideas that we're never going to do.
That's right. You know what else is great? Emergency snoot boop. Do you know what that is?
No.
It was a trending hashtag last night into the morning and also today, where people would post pictures of their furry children, companions, with like, "Brr," and it would be, if you're stressing out, take a look at this dum-dum.
I did look at a lot of really cute animal pictures today.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Millennials.
Yeah, so
But I did
that
too.
was a great idea to post cute animal pictures, make people feel a little bit better.
It really was. I also saw a really interesting, building and then collapsing. I'm doing a weird thing with my hands for those just listening, of geometric shapes that you were supposed to breathe
The
with.
breathe, yeah. Yeah, my mom shared that. That might be where you saw it.
Oh, Andy
Shout out,
with
Andy.
the great ideas.
Oh, she's got a lot of them. That's for sure. So
You look mighty dapper today.
oh well, no big deal. Just kind of being a man about town.
Okay.
You never know when you're gonna have to go somewhere and look sharp.
And look at this environment change.
I'm in my new digs.
Woo!
Yeah. If you listened to the last episode, I mentioned that I was moving, and here we are. So I haven't gotten my podcast recording studio area set up yet. So this is a temporary situation.
With all
but
the
it's-
eggshells on the wall to absorb sound.
You know it. Actually, but this basement, I'm in my basement, and it's carpeted, and to my right is actually a mattress propped up against the wall that's absorbing lots of sound. So it's actually not a bad environment to do this kind of thing. So
I'm going to have to come
What's
over and
up?
look at it.
yeah, I think that's a good idea. Come
I think I'm
on,
going to have to do that.
come on out. Yeah, so moving was a trip. Literally. Whoop. Yeah, and did my ideas have anything to do with the move? Nope, definitely not. Oh, this one. Okay, here's an idea that I had something to do with the move. All right, so you've moved before,
I have.
right? People listening, you probably have moved at some point in your life. Maybe not. Anyway, one aspect of moving that can be difficult is unpacking, but it can be really good because it means a fresh start and a great way to get on top of organizing things. Now, I know that there are a lot of ways in which people can do this already, if it's just a matter of making a spreadsheet or something like that, or just a document. But if there was, let's say, an app, for lack of a better idea.
What?
An
We've
app.
never had an app idea.
Yeah,
Yes, we have.
never.
Yes, we have. Yes, we
Episodes
have.
1 through 13,
All of
probably. So it's, I guess, an app where you put in the parameters of the rooms of your house and the furniture in those rooms. And you can enter your items, your belongings. So here's a great example. Before we started recording, I was like, oh, I need my earbuds because I have this whole two headphone system going on here when we record the podcast. And I was like, I don't know where my headphones are, my earbuds are. So this is a perfect opportunity for this type of app where you put in like earbuds and then you input like, let's say it's living room, top drawer of, whatever console. And then you can, sure, credenza. And then you can type in earbuds and it'll pop up, boop, living room, top shelf, credenza.
I like it.
There's probably something out there that does this. I don't know. I couldn't find anything, at least that was in my search parameters. But
I'm impressed that you went to the extent to look for it, research it, kind of.
I probably did like the bare min.
Well,
Yeah. So, just like some way to keep track of your belongings because, unless you're moving into a tiny shoebox of a place, you might have more than one room in which things can be, or more than one place in which a certain item might end up. So, yeah, just a way to find your stuff.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot because I have this tactic when it comes to moving, and it's open all the cabinets and drawers and put everything in it, and later you'll go back and organize it. Only you won't.
Yeah.
So when I am doing that, and then I get to look around the room all satisfied that everything's done, and then months and months and months later, I'm like, oh, I wish I could just put my winter sweaters up in the loft cabinets. That's a great idea. And I open the cabinets, and all this stuff comes out, and I'm like, I really should have organized that the first time. And it would have helped me to have an app so that when I was going through the motions of entering all the data, I would have been like, this is too much. Do I need this? And then it would have just been done.
Yeah, I mean, it adds time to the like moving in process, or even if you've, just the updating whenever you get something new, just like putting that in there. Stop biting your nails because that was my assignment for this one. So we're going to get to that. But anybody watching on YouTube saw evidence. Nail biter.
It's also been a really tough day.
It has been a tough day. I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. That's like my excuse every single time. I'm like,
Donald Trump.
I was like up very, very late, and I teach very early in the mornings on Wednesday. So I think I took about a 2-hour and 15-minute nap before I had to get up and then teach a class. But the good news was I had nothing else today.
Oh, yeah, except for this.
Other than later. So I did take a nap, which normally I don't do because I have daymares.
And no, you're not referring to your mom mare. You're referring to...
I have those too. Both. I'm referring to at nighttime when I sleep. Most of the time it's A-okay. And in the daytime when I sleep, I wake up like this. Like in a cold sweat, like terror. And I don't ever remember, well, more often than not, don't remember why that happened. I'll just be like, God, it's hard to breathe. I'm sweating. So I try to usually muscle through because that's not a sensation I like to have.
No, it doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Not at all. So, ideas. What you got?
Well, other than an election time machine.
Oh, brother.
I haven't had a lot of inspiration. I know. All of my energy went into my assignment this week.
Did it really?
It did. And I'm not even sure that that's a great idea. I mean, this title of this cast this pod might have to change to like,
The well has run dry for old Louise.
Ideas.
Well, okay.
That we're never gonna do.
Well, why don't we move things around a little bit
Yeah.
And let's do the assignments now because it's relevant because you're currently biting your nails. And then also because we were just talking about moving and your assignment was having to do with
Making it
something
easier.
to make moving easier. Yeah. So why don't we do that? And then we will go over some other things and then we'll circle back around for our assignments for.
And who knows,
Next
if
time.
I'm remembering correctly, last episode we were like organically having
the flow.
ideas.
It was
in
happening.
the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go first. The idea is sort of piggybacking on your idea of the restaurant wait time stand-in. And I don't know. I mean, here's the real super moving, make it easier idea. Just have unlimited funds and then like sit on a throne and just dictate to people what you want to go where and
Well, I mean,
put these in this boxes, move that.
Right. I mean, when the move in process was happening, I was able to just like stand outside in front of the moving truck. And when people would take stuff out, I'd be like, master bedroom, living room, basement, you know?
Right.
So yeah, that's the fun part until you get there and everything's just like in weird places and you're just like, oh great, now I have to like move this around and
Yeah. Play
Unpack.
Tetris. Play Tetris until you get the thing that you need to get because that one goes on the bottom. No, so the idea, and maybe it would, I don't know how it would work in the burbs because in the burbs and rural areas, you've got more street space. But
Yeah.
the idea is you're hanging out in a neighborhood because you're waiting for your voice lesson or to meet your friend for coffee and you've got some time and hey-oh, these peeps around the corner are moving, but they need somebody to like sit in the moving van. So it's kind of like a part-time side job stand-in for like double parking tickets or in a spot where you're not supposed to be. You would
Yeah.
like, although now that I'm talking about it out loud, it makes me think this would be maybe only a great idea for some thieves. Because they're like, sure, I'll watch your moving van. And then you both go inside to get boxes and stuff. And then they're like, vroom, vroom. And they take
Well,
your stuff.
I mean, in order for this to work, you would need for there to be like an actual company that does background checks and like everybody's accounted for.
That would be.
Yeah. It's kind of like how with a company like Uber, you're not getting into just a stranger's car. You are getting into a stranger's car. But at least the stranger has been vetted and should something happen, there's a record of who
Right.
picked you up when and where and everything like that.
Yeah. And on the app, you can like see the cars.
An app idea.
We've never had one.
Never.
So yeah, that was my idea. Like an extra person for when it's like, you know, me and my friend can do this, or you know, because sometimes, or at least in the past when I have moved, it's like you sit in the truck, I'll carry this thing. And I'm
Right.
like, you got it. And then I feel
Yeah.
like I'm not doing anything.
Right.
Or I did it once for a friend. She and her husband were moving out of New York, and I sat and watched their moving van, and a butterfly landed on my hat.
So that's what happens. Butterflies just come and land on your hat. While this was happening, I came up with another moving idea. Moving is the theme for this one, for sure. Start thinking of episode titles now. So, believe it or not, it's an app idea.
Yes!
So this is an app that I think would be called like Box Swap because A, boxes are expensive. B,
Yes.
we've had them for, I don't know, hundreds of years. Granted, they've gotten better in recent years, but still, a cardboard box is a cardboard box. And also, unless it gets like mangled or like massively rained on,
Wet. Yeah.
they hold up. So, rather than just recycling the boxes or going on another app called Nextdoor or like Craigslist and saying like free boxes, an actual dedicated app where it's just like you indicate whether you have them or you need them. And if you have them, you indicate kind of like an estimate of how much you have and what they are. And then someone else who needs them, they put in their parameters. Boop, 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 boop. They line up. And then someone just takes the boxes, and then the cycle continues. This is a prime idea for box manufacturers to get on to get ahead of the game. Because if you don't do it, someone else will. And Lord knows we're not doing it, so you may as well do it, box manufacturers.
That's
because, you know, if someone else comes up with this, then you've got nothing. No plan B.
Right. I've already got some advertising taglines.
Bring it.
Like, it's the Tinder for moving. Or like for the OkCupid of boxes.
Wow, so it's all about dating for you.
No, I'm just saying like it's an algorithm that matches you with
two dating platforms as the examples.
What are other platforms that use algorithms to match people?
LinkedIn.
Yeah, but yeah.
Great,
Right,
I just
though.
got like an invite from Box Swap.
Bro. No, that's right. I guess LinkedIn. I just get so annoyed.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
No, I know.
Oh, you know.
I mean, I didn't know you were messing with me until you made it clear that you were, and then I understood.
Gotcha. Yeah, you know, that's one thing. I mean, boxes can be pretty expensive.
Yeah, they can be.
No joke.
There's a company that Chris and I used when we moved. I think it's called Gorilla Bins, but there's also another one. But it's those plastic bins that like fold over the flappies.
Yeah.
And so you essentially like rent the boxes and they bring them in their plastic hard boxes and you fill them up and then you call them and you say boxes are full and then they come and take the boxes and bring them to the new place. But the catch is then you got to unpack them right away and give the boxes back. I mean, the idea
right
is
away, like while they're still there, like someone's just like
waiting. No, I think you do get some time. It's that then you have to like just pay more or whatever.
That's where they get you.
That's where they get you. But it did save us from having to buy a ton of boxes.
Yeah.
Also, in New York, probably other places, but less so in towns that are spread out wider. A lot of boxes that you could say, like, free boxes on the side of the street and go pick them up. Dogs pee on a lot of those.
Right.
So you don't want to, like, get those free boxes. That's why Box Swap is such an ideal situation. Whenever I get nervous about the silence, it just helps to change the way that I say things.
You know
it's
what?
Good. Cuts
This isn't broadcast radio. Dead air isn't necessarily dead air.
Dead air could be actually.
Those on YouTube just got a cool show of Louise dancing.
Yeah. Dead air could be dancing.
During the dead air, yeah. So, lots of good moving ideas. Cool.
Cool.
Let's see what else I got here. Okay, I have one other app idea. I'm gonna give you a choice. Okay. You can have a physical item, an app. There's some beverage ideas. Oh, and then there's an idea that's not for a new app, but an improvement on a classic.
Ooh, an improvement on a classic.
Why can't you make a comment on an Instagram post with a photo?
Yeah.
It's a app that's all about photos.
Yeah. That is annoying. I didn't even
Right?
think about that. Yeah.
Because sometimes somebody posts a photo and it's like, oh man, I have a relevant response that can only be conveyed in another photo.
Come on, Insta.
Yeah. So I'll check that one off. That's all I got for that one.
All right.
Nothing too shocking there.
No, I like that. Someone
wanna
was
know-
recently telling me that they got a message on their Instagram and they were like, I didn't even know this was a thing.
Oh, yeah, like the direct message type of thing?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what you use your Instagram for. Mine is mostly just for me and to look at dogs.
Yeah.
It's mostly what it's for. Like sometimes I will take a picture and be like, "Oh, that's so arty of me." It's not even like I care that anyone likes it. I just like to capture it so that later in a different app like Time Hop or the like, it'll be like 3 years ago you took this picture and I'm like, I do like that one. You're right.
Yeah.
But this person specifically, I think, uses it. Like Facebook is the main one for them, and I think that Instagram is the main one for me. I think Facebook I just continue to keep for convenience. If I'm like trying to sign up for something new and they're like, enter your email, add a
Sign
password.
up with Facebook.
Right,
Yeah.
and then I'm just like, click, good.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, just like communicating with people and family and stuff.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
That part's nice.
Instagram, I think, is my main one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, no, go ahead.
I feel I use Twitter almost in the same way. Like
Oh, yeah.
I never
You never post on there.
on Twitter. Oh, but I did like 2 in the last 12 hours, which is weird.
What? I must
know.
have breezed right past him. Or their algorithm must have scooted it to the bottom.
Come on. No, yeah, I used to use parts of Twitter as therapy where I just needed to get it out of myself so it wouldn't eat me alive. But I don't need it for that anymore. And I'm not funny really, so I don't like test jokes.
Oh, come on. Well, you're not a joke teller. So it's
Yes.
not, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Twitter in the past 24 hours has been good for me because having just learned all this new news about our country, there's just some way, sometimes when you just need to get something out there and just say it, even if it's just screaming into the void, just to like get it out of your mind and onto something else. As long as it's under 140 characters, then yeah, that's what it's for. Because if I really said everything that I was thinking on Facebook, I would be hearing from my grandma, and I'd have to explain something to her. And I'd rather save our conversations for more fun things. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes. So that's a tricky thing with Facebook. Are you feeling any idea flow, or do you want to pick another one? And because I got a lot of them this past.
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
like when
go
I
for
mentioned
it.
beverages, there's 3 of them.
What? Okay, yeah. Go ahead for another one. This will be
Do you want
the Jon special.
Do you want the item, the app, or the beverage ones?
Beverages.
Okay. I'm going to do 2 of them that kind of go together, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I am very precise when it comes to coffee making. And I like to measure things out like exactly. So the way that I used to do like the pour over kind of stuff, but I have moved on to like a really good coffee maker, but I have found the ratio of water to grams of coffee beans that works best for my tastes. And my process is as follows. So I put my grinder on a scale, and I reset the scale.
Tear it.
I tear it, and then I pour the beans in until it gets to the desired weight in grams. And then while that's grinding, I put my measuring cup on that same scale, tear it, and then I fill it with water until it gets to the appropriate amount, the appropriate weight that I like it at. So why can't we have, first of all, a grinder that has a built-in scale? Because that's
Brilliant.
It's pretty annoying, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And then also some sort of vessel with a built-in scale. Like, a measuring cup, it can measure, milliliters, and it can measure cups and things like that. But I just wanted to have like a little digital reader on the side that gives me a very precise number, because with making coffee, if it's just a little off, it can ruin the whole batch. So that's what I got for that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So
Because I too have a scale and a grinder that I am constantly fluxing the grams to milliliters ratio, and I feel like I found the place that I like, but I just flip over the top of the grinder, the lid,
okay,
and then tear that on the scale, pour the beans into the lid till I get the amount I want, and then pour the lid of beans into the grinder.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it all depends on what kind of grinder you have.
Yeah, but I was going to say that's the same step, just different. So it's not saving any time or energy.
Yeah.
It's like there should be a grinder with a scale on it.
Yeah. I mean, anybody who's making coffee who is in any way a stickler for precision is probably using a scale. So why not just incorporate it into the thing? It seems like a very easy feature to add. Seems like. What do I know? So that's, because it's just like, well, 2 scoops equals blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, maybe not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes I wonder about when there's suggested amounts of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if it's also in the same way that like toothpaste is trying to scam me, where it's like the commercial will put like the ribbon of toothpaste all the way on the brush. And it's like you need a pea-size amount. Mm-hmm. You don't need the like beautiful ribbon of toothpaste.
Maybe those toothpaste commercials are meant for like horses.
Yeah.
I just want to see like the next 15 seconds of that commercial is somebody going up to a horse and going,
and the horse going like, and like toothpaste bubbles flying everywhere in slow motion.
And then the person that's brushing its teeth going, wah, wah.
And then the next slam cut, the horse turning a little to the side and doing a wink,
Sparkle.
but it's gonna go like the way that you would say a giddy up to a horse. We should really be in advertising.
Yeah, horse toothpaste professionals, if you're listening, 304-804-IDEA. That's just where you can leave your ideas for us to talk about. But if you put your contact info in there, we'll get back to you so that you can hire us for all of your horse toothpaste needs.
You know what's crazy? Now that I'm thinking about this, I sometimes nanny, and sometimes I nanny a child that isn't mine. And when I say mine, like the one that I'm assigned to.
Sure.
Within that family. And I brought the little one to a dentist appointment like 3 years ago, I think. And there was a stuffed plush horse with like dentures in its mouth so that the doctor could like talk to the children or the dentist, pardon, DDS.
You call the dentist a doctor.
I don't want any doctors to get offended that I just like
But
upped the cred of a dentist.
But you don't care if a dentist gets offended by you
Gets
not
knocked down,
calling them a doctor.
Well, okay, this is a separate conversation, but interesting that we said horses and then I had that experience and something in my subconscious like had come out. Or it came out of my subconscious into you because you were the one that suggested horses.
Yes.
We're connected. Okay.
It's happening.
No, I just had a discussion recently with a group of people at trivia night about how there's a difference between actor and actress, and I got kind of offended, but I didn't know how to, because an actress might care about her makeup and her clothes and her cellulite, but an actor is embodying the character. Only that
Okay.
what I just gave to you is a way more eloquent way of saying it than the way that I argued it. Anyway, then Chris had said, you ought to listen to this podcast that this linguist explains communication between men and women. And anyway, spiral down. I'm listening to this podcast, and she's saying about words, how they're marked in a certain way. Like all nouns are understood to be singular until you mark it with an S or an ES to mean plural, most of them. Not fish. Or moose.
Or moose. I was thinking moose too.
But how we also assume in English languages how all things are male until you mark it female. So unless it's a profession that started or became popular with women generally, because you wouldn't say like Professor S. You would just say
Or President S.
Right. You would say like teacher, and that could be male or female, but mostly you think female or nurse. Even though like there are male nurses, people automatically assume.
But people call them male nurse.
Yeah, they mark it back masculine in that way. Anyway, the whole point of this whole thing was she was having a conversation with someone, the linguist, and they were really, really pushing back hard on her about how they didn't believe that to be true and how feminists need to take it easy when this is all going down and everything. And she said, I will give you an example of what we are talking about. And the example that she gave was, would you trust...
Horse dentist.
Would you trust a horse dentist? No, was what she said, would you trust your life in the hands of the doctoress? And the person like got weird and cringed or whatever. And she's like, see, you do it and you don't even know you're doing it. And it makes it like less than in a way, which is why certain professionals in certain ways get offended when you mark it female.
Right.
And
Very
maybe
interesting.
Very interesting. This was not an idea. It was just something that came about from.
I mean, when I'm talking about female actors, if I'm having to use the word, I mean, I try to avoid the word actress.
Me too.
Because to me, an actor is an actor. You are acting, you are an actor.
Yeah.
Actress is an outdated term. It's like stewardess.
Right. I was just going to say that example.
Yeah. We've gone off on a little bit of a ride here, but that's okay.
Right. Or,
I find it really interesting. I find this stuff really fascinating.
A female plumber is not a plumberess.
A plumberess.
And an electrician who is a female is not an electricianess.
Shocking. Ha ha ha.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. I was reminded by myself because I just started biting a nail that I forgot to say what my idea is for your assignment. So yours, to reiterate, was about biting your nails, an idea to stop yourself from biting your nails. And, you know, I went through a few different things in my head. One of them was like little fingertip gloves and, things like that, where it's just like, you're just going to take them off and you're going to bite your nails. So the one that I went to, okay, so there's the nail polish that you put on that tastes like garbage.
Tried it, didn't work.
Right. So this is along similar lines, where it's a nail polish, and when you put it on, maybe it's clear, maybe you can get it in different colors, but it reacts to maybe saliva or like tooth enamel, and when it touches your mouth or anything like having to do with your teeth, the color or whatever dissolves and a word is revealed. Like maybe
Stop.
it's stop. I was thinking something way worse, like Trump or like I don't know.
And you don't want to like be a walking billboard.
Yeah, or like a racial slur where it's just like there are consequences for my actions, and it's not just physical discomfort. So
That's intense.
It's pretty intense.
Because as you were talking, I was like, what if it was the sort of situation where you don't really see it on your hand, but when it gets activated, if you put it with the stuff, it like leaves like a smear on your face?
Yeah, it's kind of like the money packets at banks for thieves, where like the blue ink shoots in their face. So that's really funny.
Yeah, because then you're like, now my face is all crazy. Because you can put your hands in a pocket, maybe. Or put mittens on them so nobody sees them.
Something
but
that just like shoots into your face. That's so funny.
Cover up my face.
Oh, that's so great.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's that.
I like it. This is a thing. This could work. Chris had joked around with me once. There was this bracelet, and now, it's called Pavlok.
Okay.
Have we talked about this? So
it sounds familiar.
It's a play on like Pavlov's dog.
Right.
And then a lock. And it's like a little bracelet that you wear. And it's remote controlled from an app that another person has.
Right.
And you can calibrate it. And every time, like it's the buddy system, but they see you with your hands in your mouth, they send like a little like shock to you. Not enough to hurt you, but like to make you aware. Because a lot of times I don't know that I'm doing it. And he was joking around like, maybe I'll get this for you. And I was like, oh, that might work.
Well, I mean, why not just say, get your hand out of your damn mouth?
That too.
It's a lot cheaper than having to get this whole thing.
That's true. The promotional video for it was saying like the reason that people that bite their nails or have this problem sends these signals to their brain. So now you've got these like little pathways of response to your action, and what you have to do is like break that cycle, whether it's you're doing it for comfort, or you're doing it because of anxiety, or you're like, and now your brain associates that with what you're doing, that this is a way for you to physically create a new, like every time I do this, I get this sensation. And then you're like, I don't like that sensation and it sounded like a good idea. I also, I've done like the weird bitters things on your hands. I've done, once I was on a trip with my dad, and he got so frustrated. He was like, I'm going to stick your hands in the minnow buckets. We were fishing. And so he like put it in there, and it's like live minnows, dead minnows floating on top or whatever. And I was so mad that like he like shoved my hand down in this bucket. I was like, and like bucket in the mouth. Like it was just so mad. And looking back on it, like what a little fireball I was.
Yeah.
But cool. I like the ink splatter, or like the revealing of something socially embarrassing.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a little bit going back to like Siren with Extreme Consequences, where it's like there will be something really bad that happens, if you do this. And
If you
know,
continue.
right, and you can get ones of like varying degrees where it's like maybe to start it's something that's very tame. Like if we're going with, having something that gets on your face, like maybe it's just like a little bit, or it's I don't know.
It's like you could wipe it off. It's not like
Right.
a stain.
Exactly, yeah. But like and this would require a lot of self-discipline, obviously. But it's like no matter, depending on how bad the situation is, it can be a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah. I think that I need to try this. People out there in the fingernail biting business.
Yeah.
Get on
This
this.
is where the money is.
This is where the money
If
is.
you're in the U.S., go to uspto.gov and patent it. That's the Patent and Trademark Office. Get on over there.
Oh, I don't know why this association just happened, but I had an idea just now.
Let's hear it.
I know. Okay. Because I was thinking we haven't had one in a while. Go with me on this journey. Hummus ice cream. Here's why. Okay, I was in the Couve
Okay.
last August, and I had this basil ice cream that was delicious. And then one of the things I want to do, because now I'm turning into an old lady, is go to the garlic festival in California.
Yeah.
And I hear tell that they have garlic ice cream at said festival. And that sounds good too. So what about hummus
Yeah.
ice cream?
Garbanzo ice cream.
Yes!
Yeah.
It's gotta be good.
Yeah. What's so funny, though, is how did this not come up when we were talking about literally putting hummus into basically ice cream cones made of, like, falafel?
How did it not come up?
Or when we were talking about having, like, a Baskin Robbins with different flavors of hummus.
Right. But that was just like hummus and flavors. Look, it was just a slow burn.
Yeah.
We got there.
Yeah. So
Or wait, are you trying to tell me that we did have this?
we did not
No.
have this. It's just, how did this not
okay.
come up then? That's so funny. So, okay. It would be an ice cream that has, I'd say, probably a light bonzo flavor with garlic and
Pine nuts. Mm-hmm. Roasted red peppers. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, and this just brings us back to what we had talked about back in
And then
episode
when you get
4.
to the cone, stop. It would be so good.
When you get to the cone, stop.
Stop was like, what's the other? It could also be interpreted as when people are like, that's so sick.
Yeah.
It's not really sick, it's good. So when I said stop, I really meant keep going and enjoy it.
All right. Why don't we get to our challenges for the next episode?
Okay. And I
You
thought I
have one?
had this week. I do.
Okay. Bring it.
I would like you to spin off of the coaster.
Ooh, I like it because I love coasters. Have I talked to you about my stance on coasters?
You gotta have them. What's the stance?
Okay, first of all, you gotta have them. Coasters, what just happened there?
Oh, I was looking to see if my water had a coaster, and it did.
Oh, okay.
Because I had one too. Sorry, I pulled my laptop down.
Yeah. So I have a firm belief that you should never buy a coaster for yourself. They should only be given as gifts.
We have talked about this.
We have talked about this. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's been on the podcast. It has been on the podcast.
It has.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. It's a great gift, first of all. Mm-hmm. Coasters are great. It's your way of telling someone, this is how well I know you. Because coasters come in all the shapes and sizes and patterns and whatever.
Materials. Mine is a floppy coaster.
One of my favorite go-tos, my friends Josh and Carol, they use computer floppy disks.
awesome.
Yeah, really awesome. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can I, before I hear your challenge for me, can I tell you something that I recently found out about floppy disks?
Please.
Okay. I was listening to a podcast because I like that stuff, and they were talking about the Clinton email scandals and whatnot. And this guy had said that he did a bunch of research, but it was a scandal, but in a different way than you thought, in that there is so much stuff that the average American doesn't know about the shit show that is the government, and everybody thinks like there's such intense conspiracy around all these things. But one of the things he unearthed was that the United States nuclear go isn't just like a button and digitally connected to it. There is a floppy disk that is required.
A floppy disk, really?
Yes. I was like, when do you think the last time you used a floppy disk? I think I maybe used one in 1997.
Yeah, it's like...
Maybe before then.
So they need to have a computer that actually has a floppy disk drive.
That works.
That works. I mean, I guess you could have one that you can plug into something. But
And then a floppy disk that hasn't deteriorated, because that happens.
Yeah. They're not a perfect tool.
Okay,
That's
anyway,
so
that was
fascinating.
all I know. I'll send you the link. But
Please do.
your challenge.
My challenge for you, there is let's call it a device that, since it has been around, has only gone through one change. And I'm talking about the Slinky.
Oh!
We've got metal, we've got plastic. I want you to give me a new, refreshing idea for the Slinky.
I love it. I'm already tumbling out.
Whoa, tumbling! Woo!
Oh my God. I'm excited. This is going to be a really good episode next episode.
I think so too. This one has been terrible. I'm just kidding.
Look, I didn't have a lot of sleep.
No, I'm totally kidding.
I wasn't. I actually thought we would get on here and talk with each other and then forget we were podcasting and have no joy or personalities and just be
Well, here's my feeling about the situation. The only thing that is going to make me feel better about what's going on in our country, these United States of America, is being able to forget about it for a little bit and goof off and come and talk about great ideas. And
yeah.
I had a feeling that once we got going, we'd be having a great time and not thinking as much about the current state of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
so here we are, and if you guys agree or disagree with us, or have any ideas of your own, you can email them to greatideapod@gmail.com or call them into 304-804-IDEA. And we are at Great Idea Pod on all the social media stuff. Yeah. So
I am Spin Pixie, if you want to hit me up individually.
Word.
You're John D. Richards?
Across the board.
Heck yeah.
At John D. Richardson. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Please go onto iTunes and rate and review the show. We'd love to hear your thoughts, unless they are mean, in which case save them for a different episode, a different podcast. And yeah, go on YouTube and watch a few minutes of an episode, and you can see Louise dance, and you can see all the fun expressions that we make. Just a little fun thing, because let me tell you, we put our hearts and souls into this podcast. This is our main focus for our lives.
Sure is.
We're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for you. Actually, that's not true. We're probably doing it mostly just for ourselves.
But I like it.
I have so much fun doing this. I was talking about it with somebody this morning, and it fills me with joy when I get to talk about this show.
Yay.
And everybody who hears about it, they're just like, oh, that's so much fun. So anyway, they're right. It is so much fun. Thank you for listening, Louise.
Stay strong, everyone.
Stay strong. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you for hanging out with me.
Yeah, and goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
I don't see it happening.